And we're back, everyone, with another series. First one down on the day. A bit of a one-sided sweep from Cure. Looking really good versus Clem. Kind of channeling Gumiho a little bit. I was thinking about it during the break. Kind of channeling Gumiho just a little bit. The way he's played with a lot of early tank contains, trying to gain air superiority very early. Cool to see a player like Cure, who we think is of as super stock standard, doing something a little bit more like the, I don't want to call him the crazy Terran, but I mean, he's a little bit of a chaos master, you know?
Yeah,
pretty cool to see. Sorry, go on.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know that I would say Gumiho is chaos. That would be ByuN. I'd say Gumiho is more creativity. You know, he's got a big bag of tricks, and he can dive into any of it, but it's all kind of got a point where ByuN just like, yeah, let's make chaos on the map. Okay, you know, I'm gonna flex things. There's gonna be micro. There's gonna be all over the place, and that's where I'm gonna thrive. Which is a great, actually, which is a great segue, Steadfast, because we're getting into a ByuN game. It's gonna be ByuN and Creator, and we got our vetoes ready for us as we look at this PvT. First of all, I'm just so excited about this matchup. I mean, ByuN versus Protoss is fantastic, but when you talk about Creator and how he wants to play, any thoughts on how what maps he's going to choose or what he's going to remove, I guess? Anything out of the ordinary versus, you know, just get rid of the small maps?
Get rid of the small maps, get rid of the maps with small main bases, like Babylon. Makes sense to me. Royal Blood. The thing is, like, Creator is a little bit of a wild card in terms of how he plays sometimes, because he will do some, like, random all-ins. He'll throw in a 6-gate Blink Stalker all-in. He'll throw in, for example, he did it versus Serral, a charge lot all-in off of 32 probes. Like, he'll do wild stuff that we call, quote-unquote, dead builds sometimes. And that's not to say that they're not viable necessarily, although the way he did the charge lot all-in, he managed to make it look not viable. Unfortunately, messed up the execution a little bit, as is going to happen at these high-level tournaments. But it definitely made things a little bit funky. But yeah, I don't know. It's I think we're going to see mostly standard vetoes, but we're going to get right into the game here.
You know, Steadfast, it's 2023. That makes us Zoomers. And in the bottom right, in the red, he's playing for Abydos, and, you know, looking pretty solid in this tournament thus far. His name is Creator. Protoss to cheer for.
Aw, that's so wholesome. And his opponent spawning up in the top left. We've seen his nickname. I like it. For the Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN, the one-man army.
And Steadfast, as we set ourselves up here for this series, we didn't actually have a lot of time out of game because, of course, we were zooming right into it, and I really appreciate that. We need to talk about the history between these two players. They play a lot, but specifically in this matchup, in this year, in 2023, they've played each other 10 times. And ByuN has won 8 of those series. He has really had Creator's number this year, but it's a $400,000 tournament. I mean, the stakes on this game right now versus the stakes on EPT NA number 157 or whatever it is, they're just a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can say that the stakes play a huge role, especially a player like ByuN and like Creator, who both of them are very emotional players. ByuN, I think he gets a little bit of a nerf when he goes to the offline. We talk about it. I don't want to get into too many details about it, because of course we're already in the game. But I think Creator actually does get a little bit of a buff when he goes and plays in front of a crowd. Now, we are on the B stream here. The crowd, I believe, is not there in large numbers yet. But regardless, I think Creator is one of those players who can kind of dial it up a notch when he's on the big stage. And we already kind of saw it a little bit, taking a game off of Serral. But at the same time, he did also lose a game that was, I mean, it was 51 drone Serral with, like, no roaches on the field against, you know, 10, 12 charge lots. And I think maybe the rush of potentially beating Serral maybe got to him a little bit there.
Yeah, I think the other way we can say that is that Creator should have beaten Serral, which says a lot about his form.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you can talk about nerves all you want, but I mean, sometimes Cyril just does Cyril things and you don't quite understand it. That being said, though, on the flip side, ByuN did lose his series against Classic yesterday, and that's one of the reasons we're so excited about this Classic Cyril series later today. But if you watch that Classic Cyril or that Classic ByuN series yesterday, I think you can safely say that even if ByuN lost that series, he is in incredible shape. The micro tricks, the micro he was pulling off against Classic's army it's not often, Steadfast, that I sit back and I just say, wow. Like, the micro of this Terran just has me at a loss for words. It's just so incredible. And that's what ByuN was doing yesterday. Every small clump was running forward, dodging 7. Classic had like 15 disruptors, and ByuN just dodging every single one and doing all this stuff. And it looks like Neo in the Matrix. Like, it was just so impressive. So, you know, maybe against someone who's not quite as good at finding these early game leads, I don't know, maybe on the B stream, maybe he knocked some of the nerves out. ByuN is, despite this result against Classic yesterday, he's truly in incredible form.
Yeah, no, I do think ByuN is looking very good right now. He does find the pick off on that early Adept, which is rather nice. ByuN did scout, by the way, that his opponent is going for the Twilight Council with that early Reaper. And with his setup, I think he might be doing a cheeky little Gumiho play with maybe a 4 Marine tank drop into the main base. Ooh. Or is this just going to be tanks defensively because it's Dragon Scales and it's a huge map, huge main base? Is he going to just go for Marine drop? That is something that we'll see in just a little bit. But if it is that Marine tank drop, hang on, is this just going to be a push? Yeah, it is. Okay. He's just pushing at the front. This, wow, he's pulling quite a few SCVs with this. Going to set up it looks like he wants to set up a pretty hard contain. Creator does build an Immortal, so he somehow has the read on this. I'm not actually sure what he saw, if he saw it with a unit crossing the map, but building that Immortal is going to help him out a lot.
I mean, now he's going to see it, right? The Adept sees the SCVs, but I mean, even still, yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, the dodge.
That's fantastic there. Again. And now ByuN's going to get the siege up here. Cyclone gets a lockout on the Immortal as well, and Steadfast. There are 2 shield batteries, but one of them is just almost totally empty right now. So now the question is, as you look at this, do you spend energy on your production, or do you just make sure your units stay alive as long as possible? For now, the answer is the units, and that is going to be a dead gateway, second dead gateway. But look at this. Stalkers on the right side here. Creator's getting ready for a flank. No, he wants to get reinforcements for now. Yes. Now that means ByuN is going to have this push. Question is, though, the Liberator, as it gets ready to run across. Yeah, Creator's going to get it. That's massive.
That is a huge deal. Such a good read from Creator. He was looking for exactly that unit. This tells me that ByuN has done this exact thing to him before. Oh my God, what a beautiful read from Creator. And that is going to, I mean, if that Liberator shows up, that almost creates a checkmate situation. Now ByuN has this weird situation where he's kind of trapped on the map a little bit. Immortals are able to trade their barrier and shield battery energy and pick off quite a few units right there. Creator actually committing to a bit of a counterattack here. He's already picked off a couple of SCVs, getting a few Marines. Will have 1 or 2 of the Stalkers going down. I think there was 5 Stalkers originally, so he loses 2. Ooh, I don't know about going for the break attempt here, though. He loses 1 Immortal. Yeah, where is the battery overcharge? Why are we doing this without battery overcharge? I never do that without battery overcharge. That feels so bold.
Had he popped it earlier? He's going to go again. Hardened shields aren't ready. I mean, I get the Stalkers come from behind, I guess, and that is going to be the play here. But I think we're going to see an Immortal get targeted down. No, okay, it will get out here. But now the medevac falls. And look at this mass repair, though, on the Cyclone. It's staying alive. Yes, eventually ByuN gets broken. But that could have been so much better for Creator there. He could have gotten the Cyclone. Yes. The Cyclone could have killed less. Even still, though, this push coming out of Creator right now is terrifying, but it has to be. Because despite all this, and yeah, ByuN has some SCVs on the map. Yeah, the worker count's a little bit not what it is. ByuN has the worker lead. Creator had to cut probes for this. He doesn't have a third base. And now the Cyclone on the other side is great, but now Immortal drops are gonna assassinate a tank. Your Stalkers bling on top. Only 1 tank's alive. Creator just wants to end the game right here, right now, Steadfast. And he's gonna deny Stim.
And combat shield. He's going to get both of those critical upgrades. Blinking forward in on top of the tank, maybe not the best move, but he might just get it. Yes, he does. And it looks like there is not a whole lot that can be done at this point. Zealots are going to get into the mineral line, getting a couple of SVs. Looks like one of the Immortals did go down. Creator trying to do maybe a little bit too much all at once. Can't quite fully pull off the perfect micro, but he has certainly put himself in a game-winning position 100%. He knocked out Stim, knocked out combat shields. He's up 9 workers. He's sniping more SCVs at the natural, and Creator has played this game very, very well against ByuN. And at this point, I don't even know what you can do as ByuN. He does have a 3rd command center, so that's good. But the Stim and combat shields being as late as they are means that Creator can get away with insane greed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at that. We got a 4th base on the way from Creator behind this. Like he took his 3rd base literally 45 seconds ago. You know, it was not all that long ago he was getting his 3rd, and now he's got his 4th here. And you're right, Steadfast. No Stim, no combat shields, no concussive shells. This army can't fight. It has to stay at home. And because the tank count was reset so hard, I mean, what are you gonna do there? There is so little that ByuN has available to himself. Even as the army supply is better, it doesn't matter. And this is not an army that can fight on the map at all. So if he wins this game now, it's gonna have to go to 20 minutes. It's gonna have to be one of those classic ByuN comebacks where, you know, he takes his licks in the early game. He goes for something and it doesn't work. And then he just drops everywhere and micros all around the map and doesn't let this powerful Protoss economy. Look at Creator. Surely this is too much. Surely this is too much.
It's a good idea, honestly. I just think the map is not as good for it, because the chance that ByuN like sends a random medevac just around the map at some point is pretty high. But on paper, I do love the concept, because like I said, his opponent kind of has to sit back for a while. This is kind of insane, building a 5th base and proxying it to boot. Honestly, I wouldn't have even minded if it was a 5th base at home almost. Oh, a little bit bold right there with the Stalker. Does lose 1. The thing is, by doing this is a lot of resources that are not going to help him out for a while. And he is transitioning into Colossus. He might actually be doing too much, to the point that now ByuN does have a big opportunity to get something done.
Yeah, and the second question we look at, because right now we're on 2 robos, and Classic beat ByuN yesterday in a similarly solid economic position off of a 5 robo game. So is that the new meta? Is that a new meta? Are we going to see Creator get 5 robos eventually? Probably not. But for now, he's on his 3 Colossus. He's adding Disruptors 2x2, 2-1 on the way. He's getting Charge. Dark Shrine just about done. Pretty much everything and the kitchen sink is now available to Creator at this point. And ByuN, okay, somehow a Zealot found its way into the natural. That's fine. Okay. It's a slow Zealot. It doesn't get much damage. But now the question is, when does ByuN move out? Because you feel like Creator has had the map for the last 5 minutes. You gotta figure that Creator is going to have to go, or ByuN is gonna have to punish this in some way. And for now, there's no medevacs, but that is a decent amount of Zealots he was just able to catch. But now he is gonna have to run here. Stalkers playing forward. They don't target a medevac down, and the force field's whiff. So not quite what you're looking for there, Creator. You don't get the medevac, lose some Stalkers. And now this army of ByuN is up just about 10 army supply, but 20 of that, 10 of that, sitting there on the run by is something that ByuN, his rally, especially with the Ghost here, probably should be able to eventually deal with. And this, oh, okay, he's gonna have to return home. Never mind.
I was gonna say, no, this is a few too many Zealots. Yeah, this is a problem actually for ByuN. And Extended Thermal Lance is getting close. More Disruptors are being added on. Creator is now up so many workers. And he is quite far ahead in tech. What is the Viking count right now? What is the Viking count for? Okay, we've only got 4 Vikings on the field. There are just the 2 Colossus. I do think a couple more Colossus would be in order, at least 1 more, just to force the switch up. But he's getting into DT Blink. He's getting into additional gateways. +2 weapons is about to complete. Only thing he's maybe missing is that +2 armor. And at this point, ByuN is really in an uncomfortable position. Creator, he might have the opportunity to move forward and get something big done. Oh, he finds the tanks on siege, gets 2 of them very quickly for the cost of 1. Okay, 2 for 2 Disruptors, but the last Disruptor shot, pretty big as well. Good trades, considering the drastic economic advantage that Creator has.
I think realistically, Creator could have gone and gotten all 3 tanks. He messed up a little bit, right? It takes 2 disruptor shots to kill a tank. So with 3 shots, technically you can kill 3 tanks. You put 1 on, well, actually, with the range, maybe you can. Anyways.
It's weird because you can't actually stack disruptor novas right on top of one another. They have like a core center where they have pathing with each other. But either way, we got a push coming in on what ByuN thinks is the 5th base disruptor shot. Oh, good split from ByuN. Actually, great splits. Oh my God, great splits indeed. Oh, ByuN actually, Creator actually like anti-microing there, anticipating a split and over-split his disruptors. ByuN though, now he's got a bit of an opportunity.
Yeah, he's down an upgrade, but Army Supply is in a pretty solid spot. Going up the ramp here is so hard, but he's gonna do it anyways. He gets another disruptor. 10 probes have died, even without the tanks, and now the Vikings, they try to run forward. They're not gonna find it.
Oh,
and
Creator.
these blink DTs, do we have a scan? No, it doesn't matter. EMP knocks him down. And now
he just EMP'd his own medevacs though.
Oh, he did? Yeah. So there's not nearly as much
He
EMP on this
can't stim now.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh my, I think Creator did that as a bait. I think he actually baited out the EMP onto the medevacs. He blinked right underneath them, knowing that the scan was just out of range. I think Creator might have just committed the biggest brain play of all time, but this is still such a scary push.
I mean, that being said, ByuN is taking hefty damage here. DT's in his natural, I think maybe in his 3rd base as well. I don't see any SCVs there. So yeah, ByuN's gotten a bunch of bases. You're absolutely right. Or he's killed the 5th, he's killed the 3rd. He doesn't know about the north side base. He doesn't,
no,
he
does
probably
not.
knows about the bottom left. But now the sieged up position here. I mean, the DTs are scary. Absolutely they are. Another scan gets dropped in. That get a tank?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, the Robos. The Robos are super exposed. He loses one. Second one is under big pressure here. Disruptor gets almost taken out. We will see the robotics facility being depowered. There's the Disruptor going down. Big Disruptor shot on the tail end. ByuN, the reinforcements are not going to be as good for him, but they're still going to be decent enough. That base in the top side could be the saving grace for Creator. Vikings are going to find one Colossus. And, oh man, I really wish there was a couple more Colossus here. Big Zealot run by on the other side of the map. But good positioning from ByuN. He gets underneath the Liberator. That's going to help him out a lot. Missile turret detecting the DTs. Creator really committing a lot to the counterattack.
Meanwhile, Robos are dead. There's no high-tech, really, production for Creator right now. And despite that, I mean, you look at this.
Oh,
the supplies
the
are massive.
Liberators just crushed this.
Yeah, they did. And the Marines and the SCVs, but ByuN lost 19. So ByuN's army is up 33 army supply. His army's in such a good spot, but he doesn't have the economy anymore. He's only on 37 SCVs to 82
nice
probes.
EMP.
That's a great EMP, but one DT's gonna get out for now, and ByuN doesn't have enough energy for one more. And here comes the break. So many Immortals means these tanks are just about useless, but he gets the last Colossus now, so it's gonna be Immortals, it's gonna be Stalkers. Not a lot of tech in this army anymore. ByuN stims on top, tries to get them, and he's gonna get the Immortals down, but the Stalkers on the concave here. Here come the Zealots as well, and we see this economy of Creator finds so much. One medevac goes down, and that's the full one. So now, only 2 medevacs available here. ByuN's economy hurting massively. Creator's lost his natural. He only is mining out of 3 bases, but all on 2 of these 3 bases, Steadfast, they're fully saturated. And the big deal, ByuN doesn't know about one of them. Even if he knocks down the bottom left base, Creator's still gonna have that topside base to mine from it. Almost as important. It's 78 probes. Creator is gonna be able to build more bases and really reestablish that economy fairly quickly.
And he's already so far ahead in economy because ByuN has been on 3 bases. This was a massively committed 3-base push. And look at this. This is like a game of Go right now. We've got Creator controlling 3 corners. And I might be wrong about this. I might be thinking of a different game or a different name. But we've got 3 corners in the possession of Creator. ByuN only knows about 2 of them. This is such a funky setup. Kind of a panic pickup right there. Zealot's gonna find some SCVs again. Man, I really gotta say that was a great breakout from Creator. And at this point, ByuN's in a ton of trouble. I really don't know what he can do to wiggle his way out of this one, but the army supplies are not drastically different, and Creator doesn't have as much of an upgrade lead as he could. Oh, I actually love this blink play. He is going to move right into the main base, going to find so many units, including a fresh Ghost. This is so good for Creator.
Yeah, ByuN's production's anemic right now. I'll hold that thought, because massive fight here at the 3rd base. Stalkers blink on top of the Liberators. They're going to knock them down, and ByuN's had 1 comeback in this game, absolutely, but he won't have a second, and certainly he won't have a 3rd here. What a fantastic game, though. I mean, that was a game that Creator won early, and then ByuN almost brought it back. And we were talking in the mid game, like that north side base, that proxy base it's one step too far, Creator. You gone and you outgreeted it. But by the same measures, it kind of allowed ByuN to make that push happen and really, you know, kill the sixth, kill the fourth, kill the natural, kill the third. It also meant that once those bases died, Creator still had this money. He still had this economy to be able to warp in 20 zealots and a bunch of DTs and just pull the rug out from under ByuN's economy.
Yes, certainly. I really do think that one of the things that actually won this game for Creator was the baited EMP onto the medevacs. I think that was actually a huge deal because it pulled all the sustain out of ByuN's army. And you can see here with this final cleanup, the units, imagine every single unit right here for ByuN is at like full HP. That break, that full cleanup that Creator gets, I don't know if he can actually pull that off, even with everything, even with that hidden base and with all that he was able to achieve. I really think that, and maybe it was by accident. I think it was on purpose. I'm going to give Creator the benefit of the doubt. That was so sick. That was so sick.
Yeah, you know, I think the other thing we talked about, what changed the game? ByuN took a solid 2/3 of his bio, something like that. Like he had the hard push on the natural. He was slowly sieging that down, and he takes like 2/3 of his bio to go kill the bottom left base. Right? Makes sense. You want to deny the economy of Creator. You want to put him all in. But he didn't know about the north side base. So even killing that bottom left or trying to really do all that much for him. And then you have all your tech outside of the Protoss natural. You have 4 or 5 tanks, whatever it was. You have a couple liberators. You have some bio. But you don't have the bio to back it up. So then Creator is able to rush it down with 5 immortals, with these zealots and everything else. And then ByuN loses his tech. And then ByuN loses his army later on because he doesn't have the tech to back it up. Whereas if he just bull rushed the natural, gone into the main, something like really tried to take advantage of that, I think that works out better for him. But I mean, obviously, that's a tight game. It's really hard to figure out. We have another game, though. And in the upper right, he's looking up 1-0 here and just, playing so well. Maybe even GSL Season 1 form last year for vetoes. It's Creator.
And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left for the Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN.
Man, I was so ready last
ByuN's going to need to find... Oh, sorry.
Well, you're talking about ByuN needing to find something this game. He is, in fact, going to do something. He's pulling us back a year. You know, we say Creator. This might have been last year's Season 1 form for the GSL. Well, ByuN's pulling a build out that we saw all the time at Katowice last year, right? The proxy barracks on the map just to mess with your opponent a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this has been around since the beginning of time. These proxy single barracks in TVP, basically, I feel like since a very early stage of Legacy of the Void, the proxy barracks double gas setup. I remember players used to have such a struggle dealing with this. And to the point where sometimes we'd be like, yeah, you know, if the Protoss player loses only 4 probes, like, oh, it's playable. Like, it's not so bad. And now we're just like, are you kidding me? Like, the concept of getting 4 probes, like, if you get 4 probes, the Terran is so far ahead now. And actually ByuN, he's going to go for a sneaky bunker here. This is cute. I wonder how many Reapers he does go for. We have seen some players go, like, Reaper into Marine. I know Future likes doing that. Oh, he's going to bunker the pylon. So shield batteries cannot come in. That is cute. And it will be multiple Reapers.
Which means you have to immediately pull a probe again. Like, if it's just a bunker, you can kind of be okay. Or if it's behind the mineral line, it's annoying, but whatever. Creator feels the need to pull probes here, but the Reaper's already across. And we saw ByuN waited. He waited for the Reaper to get close enough to be done and to be about halfway across before he drops that bunker, because he wants to make sure that this bunker gets up. And now, this shield battery does not complete. It will have to get canceled. It will get targeted down eventually.
Oh, kill the probe.
That just means that there is just so much more longevity. And he gets the probe. Now, that being said, he's not really targeting the shield battery yet. But again, you take that because he got 2 probes.
Yeah, where's the second Reaper? I feel like it should have been out already. Did he... It feels like that second Reaper took forever to get out. I don't know if I'm, like, missing something. Creator, though, does get the break, and he cleans it up.
Yeah.
Shield battery stays alive. That wasn't as bad as it could have been. And part of the reason is because, of course, instead of ByuN hiding the bunker, he showed it, which allows Creator to go for the stalkers, which are the better break component there. I wonder if it would have been better for ByuN to maybe hide that so that at the depths, I mean, you can still be stalkers by random, and it still was, I think, worthwhile for ByuN. But yeah, that was a bit of a, well, I mean, it was a great cleanup from Creator with the extra probes. But it's just a kind of a funky, little bit of a weirder way that this starts. What do you think of this Widowmine drop to follow through, though?
I think it makes some level of sense, right? Because you know ByuN was just, he proxied his Reapers. He got 2 of them. That's a little bit more gas than a Terran would normally spend early. So you've, in the Protost's mind, right? I've held off. I've defended against the thing. You know, I've defended against the pressure. I should be kind of safe. I should be able to just play the game I want to play now. And going into this next round of aggression might catch Creator off guard. Unfortunately for ByuN, there are oracles out on the map. And actually with these oracles and the stalker pressure here, this might be worth something. And now actually they're going to see each other. Widowmine sees or Medevac sees Oracle. Oracle sees Medevac. That being said, there are 4 Widowmines in this drop steadfast. And that can be a bit of a pain for a Protoss to deal with. But for now,
yeah, but there's no
defense here.
defense.
All the Widowmines were on the other side. And Creator roughly knows this. He saw the Medevac.
And it was a tank. ByuN did not cancel the siege tank in order to build a cyclone. Oh, Creator not responding. Oh, he stacks the probes.
Oh, he gets the Oracle as well.
He got the Oracle. He did. Oh my goodness. Creator taking so much damage. I want to see the player cam right now because I cannot imagine he's too happy about that. 6 SCVs go down on the other side of the map, but Creator losing 12 probes and the Oracle and 2 Widowmine gets away. That is catastrophic. That's one of those situations where Creator would have been better off doing nothing. Instead, he pulled the probes around. They kind of derped out, and he ended up taking some bigger shots than he should have.
Steadfast, I know this is something you like to talk about, where it's just, you know, of course the Widowmine drop finally gets cleaned up here. There's a Phoenix made. But I know there's something you like to talk about where it's just the hands stop working. You know, something happens and your hands stop being able to play the game. That is very much what happened to Creator right there. It's panic. And it's crazy because he knew this was coming. He saw the drop on the map here. In fact, that's why he dove into the base as hard as he did. He knew there were not going to be Widowmines because he saw that Medevac. So he's like, yeah, I can get these SCVs. I'm going to get 6 work. This is far more workers than I would normally ever get. But then he just doesn't have his camera at home. He's not paying attention. And then, you know, 12 workers, an Oracle, everything else. Now this Reaper's going to get another one, I think. Yeah. No.
Oh,
okay.
Nice save.
Lift there. Nice save.
Very nice save, yeah. It is important to say that, you know, ByuN is not he hasn't won the game yet by any stretch. But I do think he is a little bit ahead off of that. He did lose 6 SCVs, that's a lot. But the Oracle stayed alive. There is Phoenix on the map. We've got Robotech already unlocked. Stim wasn't the fastest, and his combat shield's not going to time out particularly well with Stim. Creator is certainly in an okay position, and many players would look at this and say, well, you know, the timing's not going to be for a little while. Some players would even look at this and say, I'm comfortable in this position. Creator did get a little bit supply blocked at 78, but I don't think it interrupted any critical production, and it certainly isn't going to stop him from building his first Colossus, which is going to be an important thing. But this first push with a lot of Marines, a Raven, if this Raven stays alive and is able to lock down that first Colossus, could be very scary. But Creator's got a competitive army to maybe intercept this army in the middle of the map. Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of Marines. This is going to be funky because neither player... Okay, ByuN does see his opponent's army and backs away, and I don't think Creator saw it right away. But ByuN, he's now going to rotate up to maybe try and deny the pocket base. This is a little funky with the movement.
He hasn't seen where Creator's expanding, so often you'll see a Protoss player take the pocket. Often you'll see them take the linear position. But I think he just wants to shove it. You know, that's what he wants to do. He wants to shove in through the pocket. It's not denying the pocket base. But
right.
If you shove in through that side, there's less flank opportunity. So it's a little bit more of a closed-in area. You can maybe siege up the main. But for now, we're actually not. I thought that first medevac was going to be to support the push, but instead, it seems like he is going to maybe push into the third, drop into the main, and really start to stress the multitasking here. Is now, well, there is a stasis trap, and ByuN is aware of that. He scans that out, and now the entire army of creators in the third. So 6 Marines in the main base here. Stasis trap might be a bit of a problem, but ByuN for now seems to see it. Targets the shield battery down. Stalkers, though, they're going to warp in, and this drop's not going to get much done.
Yeah, the Phoenixes plus the Stalker warp in. It's kind of a weird combination, but it's enough. It's enough. And now I feel like Creator's in a pretty great position. There's still a Raven with a lot of energy, but it hasn't been able to leverage itself into anything meaningful. ByuN does have a third command center nearly done. He's getting into his second engineering bay, armory, so he's going to get some good upgrades. Creator's not getting a forge. He's just going pure bulk. In fact, his Twilight Council is super late. This is going to be a big commitment from Creator, and this is going to be scary.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice widow mine, but this might just kill ByuN right here. He's got enough Phoenix for the lift. He gets the Raven, but there's the shutdown, so this is delayed. Both Colossus can't fight, but aggressively here, that shutdown's going to be done very soon. ByuN, he's chasing this. He's trying to get on top, but now the Colossus are ready to fight. Again, we're going to see a couple of Marauders get lifted. I think ByuN survived. He lost the Raven for it. It was scary. It was horrifying. But he's got another couple round of reinforcements now. He's adding in more tanks. He's added, well, I guess more Widow Mines now. He's adding in more medevacs. He's added just a couple more just structures on the map that make it a little harder for Creator to get through. And if Creator is allowed to hit that timing, if those Colossus don't get shut down, I think Creator just wins the game. But because that Raven got the lockdowns on those two Colossus, ByuN survives, the game goes on, and now you're right. You know, Twilight is late. Charge is going to be done at after 10 minutes into this game, blink even later. ByuN has a little bit of room to play now.
For me, it's not even the charge that's the scariest, because that'll complete before ByuN feels comfortable to push. EMP does push these Phoenixes away, but they get 7 SCVs, which is quite nice.
Not bad.
Still, it kind of equalizes the economy a little bit there. For me, the big scary thing is the fact that there's still no forge for Creator. Oh, another EMP does come on in, but he gets 2 more SCVs. No, the big thing, 2-2. We could see 2-2 versus 0-0. And unless Creator has, the storms of his life and like 7 or 8 disruptors by that point, that is a terrifying concept. It's going to be blinkless Stalkers probably. It's going to be 0-0 charge lots. He is going to need a really big miracle if they fight on even footing with 2-2 versus 0-0.
Do we even have Storm? I don't think so.
No, we don't have Storm. I'm referencing things that could potentially make up for the fact that because obviously spells ignore armor and upgrades. Oh, the Phoenixes. No target fire on the Phoenixes, but he still gets 2 of them.
That was a
Creator going to try and go for a collapsing flank.
I don't like this. This is where Terran wants to feast, right? Just kite away, right? Zealots, die. Now, the Phoenix on top of these medevacs is fantastic. ByuN has no healing whatsoever in this army, but try fighting into that high ground. It's just not going to work. I don't care that you have 3 Colossus. I don't care that you got charge. That high ground.
ByuN needs to cancel this command center. Don't even contest it. Just give it up. Okay, good decision. Once that 2-2 completes, it is so close. Things get so scary. But because those medevacs went down, like you said, he can't afford to stim. That might actually still end up carrying the day for Creator, because this army has it's on maybe an average 2/3 to 3/4 of its health. Finally, a couple more medevacs do hit the field. And look at his 2 more starports coming in from ByuN. He knows that his opponent's army is so weak relatively. He starts a +3 attack after scanning the army and seeing 0-0 upgrades. ByuN, I don't know. That's bold right now. I think we focus on the hold because he is so far ahead. Finally, double forge comes down from Creator. Finally, a 4th base. But ByuN, every moment that passes, he's going to heal up more on his army. He's going to get closer to big Viking counts. I am really worried about Creator over the next few minutes if he can't do something big here.
Now, did ByuN complete both starports? Because ByuN had two starports on the production tab for just a little bit.
Yeah.
Is he on 3 starports now?
Oh, no, he canceled
just
one
on 2.
of them?
He canceled one of them.
Okay.
And I think he actually doesn't even have an add-on on the second one because he was just panicked trying to get air units out. He wanted to get Vikings and medevacs because he knew he needed both. But as Creator backed up, as the game goes a little bit later, he turns out he's actually going to be fine. So you cancel one of them.
Cute.
Sorry?
No, I was going to say that's cute with the Widow Mines in case Creator had warped in a bunch of Zealots. If he wasn't paying attention when those Widow Mines had come in, that could have killed like 10 Zealots. That was a cute move from ByuN if he did that like during a moment of busyness, I suppose. Did Creator cancel one of his forges initially? Because he... Oh, no, he's on triple forge. He is on triple forge. Okay.
That's the way to come back.
I saw 2 forges in the production tab, and then he added a third. He's getting 1-1-1 upgrades, and he is still going to have the biggest upgrade deficit we will probably see at this tournament.
I mean, it is 6 bases to, well, for right now, 4, but soon to be 5, so that's something. But ByuN's taking his 5th base as well. He's got an extra command center. No, this 5th base, that is, oh, actually, didn't get delayed. So there we go. Base now done. Planetary should get here.
Side.
Oh, that's a nice little bit of lift up right there. This is massive.
ByuN hesitates, doesn't go for the dive on the Colossus, and that allows Creator to rotate back over. It was an awkward engagement, and like you said, the lifts were good. But, I mean, the upgrades are just... When it's 2-2 versus 0-0, you can take some fights that you normally never should be able to. Still, this... Oh, kill, not a cancel. Colossus are very exposed. Creator is going to lose 1. Disruptor gets taken down. Good job from ByuN right there. Battery overcharge. At this point, you can almost just click the Colossus down. We're going to see a flank. Disruptor shot is pretty good. The EMPs on everything, though. Disruptor shot gets canceled. ByuN gets a great fight despite being surrounded. And that is the power of those upgrades. Creator may still get the full cleanup here. And in fact, he will. I should say, I said it was a great fight, but honestly...
Pretty good for Creator,
honestly, that was probably best case scenario. Yeah, that was in the aggregate. That was very good for Creator. So I think I look at that and I'm like, oh man, what a huge surround, and it doesn't go that bad for ByuN. But that actually was very good for Creator. Now he's up very far in supply.
That he is, but ByuN, oh, this is a massive probe. 10 probes, and he's gonna get the base. He EMPs it immediately, so of course you can't recall dead base. 11 probes down, but on the other side, here comes Creator. He wants to find that. And by the way, I said planetary on the way. ByuN breathed the hell out of this. He's got an orbital as his 5th. So now we're at solid base trade. What is this game?
Why would, man, I don't even know. Why would you ever make an orbital as the 5th? Disruptors. Oh, okay, ByuN does mostly get out of the way there. Creator doing a good job. DT Shrine will get taken down. 1 DT just warped in as it was dying. Will the Disruptors be able to hold for the base trade on the other side of the map while Creator tries to push in and get big work done? ByuN? Okay, there are 3 Disruptors here. Creator? Oh no, 4 Disruptors. Ooh, big EMPs, but there are shield batteries behind us. I think as ByuN, you just go for the 3rd. You go for the 3rd, you kill it off, and then maybe you just go home. Nice EMP to prevent the recall on this base. ByuN does have to be very careful. Phoenixes, oh, they get EMP'd. That is big. The Disruptors are going to get jumped on here. Creator moving way too far forward with them. All of them were on cooldown, and ByuN finally is able to break out and will take a significant supply lead here.
Yeah, this is a problem. Creator almost got to the point where you can just constantly spam your Disruptors. That number's 7. But for now, okay, half damage there. Phoenix all go down. I think a Disruptor died here as well. ByuN's army is so over stim steadfast. It is, you tickle it and it falls down, but even still, it's gonna get out here. And this replacement 3rd base from Creator, good, it's not gonna happen. You gotta cancel that.
Oh, I think that was a kill. It again. Creator's so broke, he can't afford that. He can't build a Nexus now. That's such a huge blunder.
There is no money remaining on the map for Creator right now. I mean, luckily, he's going to only be down 2 upgrades pretty quickly. Plus 2 attack is going to be done soon. But, I mean, Steadfast, welcome back. Welcome to 7 minutes into the game. It's a 3-base Terran versus a 2-base Protoss. Ghost will go down. But yeah, welcome. We're back quite far into this game. That's a massive fight. EMPs go down. Disruptors are going to try to do something. And oh, no, they're not. They're not going to find the value here. But even still, Stalkers, they get everything. Wait, Creator?
Nah, that was still so good for ByuN. So good for ByuN. He killed off many of the Disruptors. Yeah, that's why it's good for ByuN.
There we go.
We see the reinforcing army. There's so much more for ByuN. He's still got a 3 upgrade lead. And Disruptor in the middle, gonna try and get a Hail Mary shot. At this point, you need 3 or 4 of them just to have a chance in this game. ByuN, he scans. At this point, there's no reason not to just constantly scan the army if you've got the energy. The only way you can lose this game is by taking the worst possible fight in the history of time. ByuN not going to do it. He will eat some ish disruptors. Yeah, no, that was actually decent splitting. Creator's going to try and micro his way through it with the War Prism. No chance, no way, no how. We're going to game 3, baby. GG gets called. ByuN makes it happen.
Oh, man. What a great series we're getting here. I mean, ByuN almost makes it happen in game 1 after Creator builds a massive lead, and then we have this awesome late game. And now game 2, same idea, except it's ByuN that finds a pretty significant lead. Creator kind of fights back. He has that incredible fight where he gets all the medevacs and then ByuN's in panic mode. And at the end of the day, going to game number 3. And Steadfast, do you remember what game number 3, what map that's going to go on? I didn't write it down.
Not off the top of my head. That is, I'm not sure off the top of my head. But let's talk about this game a little bit, because this was a weird one. Creator forewent upgrades for a very long time to try and smash his way through, and wasn't able to do so. He did end up getting that big flank on the army of ByuN, and despite the upgrade disadvantage, it wasn't enough. But once you get to 2-2 versus 0-0, even with that really great cleanup from Creator and, you know, killing all the medevacs, forcing ByuN to overstim, things still got, like, it's just such a losing position. You know, it's so difficult to overcome such a huge upgrade disadvantage.
That it is. I mean, Triple Forge is a great way to try, but unfortunately, you know, shields are not nearly as impactful, Steadfast, as
No,
as
not with
armor or
EMPs,
attacks, because
yeah.
EMPs just, they strip them down, which is rough, which is not what you're looking for. But now I looked it up. I pulled up Liquipedia, because Liquipedia has a far better brain than I do. And, you know, of all the maps we could get for game number 3, do you know what it is? You know what game number 3 is going to be in this series, Steadfast?
What's it going to be?
Give me Gressmont. Best map in the pool. Very exciting.
Absolutely. Giving us the best games. I am really looking forward to this one. They have played a confusing series, to say the very least. They've been a little bit all over the place. Game number 2, Creator doing the kinds of things that only Creator does, like staying on a forgeless style for so long, trying to just jam it in with even that first attack with the 2 Colossus. You know, if he manages to snipe the Raven with the Phoenixes, maybe he can win the game right then and there, and we're looking at the down the barrel of a 2-0. It's just kind of wild.
Yeah, so many small things, so many really forced errors over the course of this game make the difference. And if that Raven doesn't get through the smoke screen to the Phoenixes, absolutely, I think Creator pushes the third base. At the very least, he forces the third base to lift up and go away. And I think he might just win the game. But it didn't happen. The Phoenix, they got the Raven, but they're just a little bit too late. And then ByuN, he stims down. He is able to kill actually a fairly significant amount of the Gateway army there. You don't have the pressure. But now we look at this, we've seen 2 very greedy styles out of Creator. You know, very, very kind of late game focused. Even if we talked about, you know, he went forges for a while. Once he realized that was not going to happen, 3 forges, massive bases all over the map. But we're moving into the biggest map in the pool, at least one of the biggest map in the pool. Altitude's a little longer rush, whatever. Where does Creator go here? That's kind of what I'm curious about. But for now, we are into this game number 3. And in the bottom right, he is the Protoss you want to root for. It's Creator.
And his opponent spawning up at the top left with a great game to bring the series to even. For the Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. And we got to talk about the stakes of this game once again, because these players are both at 1-1 as it stands. Winner goes to a qualifying match to make it into the playoffs. Loser goes to an elimination match. So this is a really critical situation for both players. And these are the kinds of players I think, like, ByuN certainly is a player that can really turn it on, and I think could be like a really like low percentage dark horse to maybe win the tournament, and maybe even Creator too if he really shows up. But I do think that these are the kind of players that each of them will feel that they have to beat in order to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And again, You talking about ByuN might be a dark horse to win the tournament. It's just a question of how his wrists are, and I hate that it goes down to that. But ByuN online, ByuN playing from his house is, in my mind, the best player in the world. And I know that might be controversial. There are other people on that title, like that have a claim to that title. But for my money, ByuN online is by far the best player in the world. Offline, though, he's middle of the pack. I mean, we see him play well sometimes. We see him struggle in other times. And it's just a question of how well he can manage those nerves, how well he can manage that pain that he's got that really kind of diminishes his ability to play. And then, well, you know, I think we're kind of in the middle of the road here in this tournament because, you know, he lost to Classic. He probably should have beaten Classic. It was a great series, by the way. If you haven't watched it, go back. That was on the mainstream yesterday. But we are seeing him, you know, lose to players that we would expect him to see him beat online. So, but he's also not pausing the game. He's also not, you know, saying, wow, my wrists are breaking apart there. So I don't know. I mean, it's arguably maybe a little bit better than we normally see, but also worse than the ideal ByuN. Kind of middle round. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure. It's always tricky to see. Hopefully, you know, hopefully ByuN is able to perform to the level we have seen from him. But once again, I can say the same thing about Creator. Hopefully we see that Creator that has done some amazing stuff. You know, even though we ultimately did lose that series versus Dark at IEM Katowice earlier this year, he did show some amazing games. He looked really good. And honestly, I think most people could agree that he could have won all 5 of those games, like was in a winning position in 5 of those games.
But I mean, that's the story of Creator too. He should have beaten Rogue in GSL Season 1 last year. He should have been our first Protoss champion in, like, what was it, 7 years? He should have. There are so many games we look at where he should have won. Like, he was there. It was absolutely holdable. He had what he needs, and he just blows up. Like, he makes the mental mistakes. It doesn't really work out. And now we're looking at another one. We're looking down at Creator going down at the barrel of a 1-2 scoreline, having to find himself, having to fight his way into the playoffs from a pretty rough position. And, you know, this map, it's big, sure, but it has a lot of drop positions for ByuN to try to abuse. But Creator he's trying to make his own luck here, right? He's gone Stargate. This does shut down a lot of early pressure potential from ByuN. But maybe not this one. Because, I mean, there are a lot of Marines on the map. He's going to go for this. But for now, actually, yeah, it's actually just going to be a Widowmine drop. So never mind. That's actually a great solution for what ByuN has gone for, this Mass Phoenix style. Or Phoenix opener style.
Yeah, I mean, the Phoenix are generally speaking going to do very well against the mine drop. We do see the Reaper finds this, and that will let ByuN know that, hey, I need to be a little bit more careful with this. You know what I actually would like to see upon him seeing those Phoenixes? Oh, nice spotter at depth from Creator.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think ByuN did see it, though, and ByuN's the medevac vision is a little bit longer. But what I would have liked to have seen is actually this, but maybe in the middle of the map, just in a random location. This is he thinks he was spotted. I actually don't think Creator saw it, though, because otherwise Creator might go hunting. We do see the SCVs in the natural. They're going to pay the Phoenix tax. And, you know, that's always nice for Creator. Puts him up 10 workers now. Ooh. But now that ByuN knows where the Phoenixes are, he is going to try and sneak into the natural expansion. The Widowmine drop in game number 2 did get a significant amount of damage done. Didn't put ByuN in a winning position necessarily, but 12 probes and an Oracle is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Steadfast, you say it didn't put him in a winning position, but yeah, it is pretty rough. But now we're going to have to see if the probe pull's just going to be a little bit better.
There we go.
Like it's going to be. Yeah, actually, no, it gets 3. Okay, I thought one probe might have gotten saved there by the extractor or by the assimilator, but even still.
That's 3 cute. Probes. That's cute from ByuN. He uses the Widowmine to see where the Phoenixes are. He saved his boost for a little while. That was really, really cute. It's not going to matter in the slightest because Phoenixes are so much faster than unboosted medevacs. But I like that ByuN tried. This is neat. It's a good idea.
It wasted time. It means that the Phoenix can immediately beeline across the map and start to do damage, which means that, you know, maybe ByuN's got a couple more Marines. He had the Cyclone out by then, but maybe a couple more Marines, maybe something else. And it's a little bit easier for him to deal with these 5 Phoenix on the map. But that's the other thing we have to talk about as we talk about this Phoenix Colossus style that Creator is playing is he's gonna get the Raven. There we go. That's exactly. If there's one goal for a Phoenix Colossus play, it's to get that Raven. It's to shut down this pressure. And he breaks the lock on, so 3 SCVs go down. He's gonna be able to cancel this third or delay this third if he commits to, yeah, okay, there we go. He's gonna be able to delay the third. ByuN's getting ready for this 6:30, 7-minute timing. He doesn't have a Raven. The Colossus are gonna reign supreme in this one. Creator is doing everything he's gotta do in this game.
Yes, he does get a tiny bit supply blocked at 93, but once again, it's not going to interrupt the Colossus production. Slows down your probes, that sucks, but he's up 11 workers, so he's already in a decent spot, and he slowed down his opponent's economy significantly. And like you said, the snipe on the Raven is so pivotal in this matchup. It is huge. Now, that's not to say he's necessarily going to win this game, but it is a very good situation. ByuN a little bit of his own supply block at 94, but once again, both of those supply blocks for either player are kind of frictional. Like, they're not the biggest. They both had supply structures on the way, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And ByuN's even his command center was a little bit late, so he's probably, or it was delayed, so he was probably, compensating, didn't compensate for that or whatever. But regardless, I do like Creator's position in this game off of that Raven snipe. That's a really nice pick.
Yeah, the big thing at Bias Creator is time, right? This push from ByuN, he would have liked to be hitting by now. You know, he's got his +1 done, combat shields are done, all those tech lab upgrades, they're complete. Like, that is what you're building up for if you're ByuN. They're based on the way, that's fine, but you want to put pressure on with the Raven, and ByuN just can't do that now. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Maybe it's like, it seems like he's trying to posture for some level of aggression, but his next big timing is going to be 2-1 in Ghosts, which is a ways off.
Yes.
So that means Creator can get his fourth base. We can see him go into, I think he's single forge right now. He could go into double forge if he wanted. But for now, single forge, he's getting charge, extended thermal lance done. And he's adding a very quick Templar Archive steadfast. Now, this is awkward because it's a very quick, but it's not quicker than the Ghosts. So Archons aren't going to do all that much for you. You can try to drop Storms, but again, Ghosts are out. It's a little bit harder. It's kind of interesting to see that this is going to be the tech path that Creator wants to go for in this game. And he's doing it for Archons. But again, by the time ByuN pushes, he's going to have 4 Ghosts, 3 Ghosts, something like that.
Yeah, so this is really unfortunate for Creator right here in terms of choices, because ByuN is doing one thing he does a lot of very often, which is going into quick Ghost Academy. He loves doing that, but he's doing something he doesn't do very often, almost ever, which is a very quick armory and second engineering bay. That's not to say he doesn't do it ever. It's just he has a tendency, more than a lot of other Terran players, to delay his 2-2 upgrades. Obviously, we didn't see that in game 2. He went very quickly into them. But in this game, he's gone for an armory that is going to be so fast that, like you said, it's going to give him that 2-1 timing. And Creator was in a situation where if he could have known what ByuN was doing, he could have maybe doubled down a little bit heavier on the Colossi and found a big opportunity. But because he went for the Archons, that quote unquote more balanced army composition, he's doing it into the counter, unfortunately. So I think with that decision, I like it a little bit better for ByuN. But as we say that, the army is almost stumbling into each other a little bit in the middle of the map. Ooh, ByuN gonna go for the snipe on the War Prism, gets the cancel, very nicely done. And that's gonna allow him to clean this up, and he won't have to worry about any kind of multi-pronged harass from Creator for the next little bit. That's a nice pick.
Yeah, and the problem now is that Creator is going for Warp Prism speed. You know, he's going to be, he wants for that. I mean, it's Gressfon. It's a bunch of dead airspace. You really want to be able to slip a Warp Prism in there, but by losing that Warp Prism, life gets a little harder for Creator right now. He doesn't have nearly as much mobility on the map because your robo build time is such a valuable resource into this game, and you want to build disruptors. Yeah. There's not a lot of room right now for a Creator to go and decide to build a Warp Prism and add that back in pretty much from the time that he made it. But for now, hey, Zealots, they're going to get a couple SCVs here as they try to situate a 4th base. Nice little bit of damage. Most importantly, it forces ByuN back a little bit. But, I mean, that's a lot of... It's a decent amount of Zealots for only 2-3 SCVs.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant amount. If we look at the resources lost, it'll show that ByuN probably, yeah, he's a solid 1,000 resources ahead, which is pretty darn nice. Looks like he picks off another couple of Zealots as well. And I mean, Protoss can trade a little bit inefficiently, but usually you don't want it to be quite this much. Disruptors, oh, they're gonna clip in on the back end of the army. Scan came down to look for an observer, I think. Didn't see the disruptors from the back. Creator with a nice attempt. He will add on a third robo, as well as that DT shrine. Upgrades are gonna be actually pretty close to even, but a small upgrade timing advantage here for Creator as this fight breaks out. Yeah, it's just the disruptors are going to be enough to zone this army out. ByuN, though, he's got another big force on the top side that is going to be able to make it really difficult for Creator to deal with. This will come down to who can spread their army better and micro in 2 places at once. And both of these players are very good at that.
Yeah, the other thing here is ByuN, yeah, his +3 armor is going to be take a while, right? Because he's ByuN. He doesn't like that. Also, you know, it started with a single eBay. His +3 attack timing is about 20-25 seconds remaining here as the disruptors, they go a little bit too far forward, and now ByuN jumps right on top. Forces the overcharge, gets like 1 or 2 disruptors, and that is going to be a little bit rough. Now, the Adepts on the other side, they got 5 SCVs, and that's something right there. But again, the big deal is ByuN's going to have this +3 attack timing in, what is that? Maybe 20 seconds? Something very, very close, 15 seconds from now. And that's going to be it's not going to be a 4 upgrade lead that we saw in the first game, but it is somewhat significant. It's a big DPS boost on these Marauders, on these Marines. And on top of that, because this game has been so uninteractive, it's been a lot of shadowboxing, a lot of pressure and posturing on the map. ByuN's got ranged Liberators on the way very quickly as he's going to dodge that disruptor. Second one gets a couple ghosts here. Third one gets a little bit as well, but for the most part, ByuN is dodging these in the extreme. Colossus goes down. Now ByuN, he's gonna get more, but that's a fantastic disruptor shot at the end. You can only dodge so many steadfast. Eventually you're gonna find that strike.
Oh my God, he dodged the first 4 pretty darn well, but went deep, wasn't anticipating the extra ones. And the 5th and 6th got some massive detonations. That was what Creator was looking for. Now, as you mentioned, ByuN is getting into Liberators here, so he is going to be able to lock down some of these positions pretty well. Creator, though, oh, is he going to go up the ramp? That's bold. He does have the disruptors to kind of zone his opponent's army out, and he will bulldog it up this ramp. One Colossus very exposed, but the disruptors actually not being as well placed for Creator as they could have there. There was an opportunity for one disruptor to maybe wipe out the entire army, but Creator focusing on the rest of the micro. And as a result, ByuN survives a scary moment, but there's still lots of disruptors here. Oh my God, going for the planetary is very bold. I don't know about this.
This is a problem here. He tries to get the planetary with the disruptors, not the SCV, so he loses every single bit of something here. Creator, this was not the play, not at all. And this was a rough play even from the start. You know, he runs the Colossus into Liberator range to try to run forward. Liberators are shelling at the Colossus. It doesn't get as much damage done. You talk about bulldogging, and he tried so hard, but that was just, and he does have this income advantage, right? Like, he has been mining so much more for so much longer, but I mean, that was not the play. That was just, I don't know what Creator was thinking there. You're running into a planetary.
That was a massive overextension.
Up Liberators into a stimmed bioconcave. Why do you think you're gonna break that?
It's the planetary fortress, the multiple Liberators, as you mentioned, attacking up a ramp as well. There were so many, well, not so many, but there were better options to attack. He did not need to attack into that position. And now ByuN is up 20 army supply. Yes, Creator was mining more, but now ByuN is actually mining more minerals as he secures his 5th base. That was a huge respite from ByuN. Good job from ByuN to give himself the opportunity. And I mean, it was a great defense from ByuN. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, if he scans, there is an observer that spots this disruptor shot. Okay. Creator, it's going to be a moot point, but if he had picked off 2 Colossus and a disruptor right there, with the rest of Creator's army kind of missing, that could have been very scary. He will move forward. Creator didn't protect the Colossus. Disruptor shot, though, is pretty good on the back end, and it will end up being just kind of a disengage. Looks like they were both paying a little bit of attention to the Liberator, so maybe that's why ByuN didn't feel like he could jump in. ByuN, by the way, didn't go straight up into his +1 ship weapons for that eventual +2 huge power spike on the Liberators. where they're able to two-shot stalkers or one-shot them after they're EMP'd, but he is getting towards that. For Creator's part, he has to rebuild a Phoenix just to be able to deal with some of the harassment from the ranged Liberators. It's so annoying.
I mean, there are spots. I think the Stalkers could have found their way into the high ground. Stalkers, though, blink forward, get that one Liberator. They're not going to get the second. There are still spots where you can kind of deal with the range of Liberators, but yeah, it's so obnoxious. So you build a Phoenix, and now ByuN, he just wants to run right up the gullet here. Where's Creator's army going? It's the wrong direction. He thought ByuN was going somewhere else. And now this is it. This is it base. Creator massively and just catastrophically misread ByuN's army positioning, and ByuN, man, he's going to benefit so much from this. Creator wants to go for the flank, but it doesn't seem like it's going to work out all that much. I mean, DT's trying to do what they can here, but it's going to be more dead Archons. It's going to be more of everything dead. Disruptors get targeted down, and this breaks the game wide open here. What was Creator doing?
He does ultimately get the cleanup at the very end. He breaks the momentum, but that was so expensive. The reinforcements of ByuN are terrifying now. Creator has lost a lot of economy. ByuN is starting to make it happen in this game number 3. He's finishing up his +3 armor. He's continuing to build Liberators. There are still DTs. ByuN hasn't closed this game out yet, and it's still in flux, but he has a lot of momentum right now, and he definitely wants to capitalize on it.
That being said, Creator is building 3 Colossus at a time. He's at 5 Robo. We're not getting that one from yesterday. I don't think ever again. But he is building on 3 Colossus, and against this mass Liberator style, that's actually so nice. Yeah, there's range, so it's not quite as much of an outrange there, but you don't really have a lot of great options against the Colossus right now as they get added in. So Creator should be able to build an army to deal with this and actually flank a Stalkers from the left side here. 1 Liberator goes down, but the other 2 are still there, and the Stalkers, the flank from the north side, doesn't find all that much. So Creator in desperation mode, and the Armada comes on in. Here comes ByuN on top of the Colossus. They're exposed. 2 of them go down, and this has got to be it. At this point, ByuN's up double the army supply. This base is going to go down again. Creator's building a Phoenix to try to deal with this. That doesn't do enough.
There's no good answer to the mass Liberator at this point. He doesn't have enough Stalkers. They're zoning him so hard. The base is going to work against Creator. It's so many Liberation zones, but there is a little bit of a flank on the back end. But ByuN's just going to rotate during this. Creator tries to clean it up slowly, and it's going to cost him a lot of probes and maybe this additional base. ByuN was on the ropes in game number 2, turned that one around, though, and is now looking down the barrel of a victory in game 3, showing a ton of resilience. Creator doesn't want to throw in the towel yet. He's trying to wriggle out of this position, but as Tasteless would say, feels like he's in a Muay Thai clench right now.
Exactly. You know, ByuN just saying, get rotated. But for now, he's just out-rotating the map at this point. So Creator at one point had so much economy steadfast. Like, it was like 2,000 more minerals a minute or something, just ludicrous. But because he got those interior bases, now the bases on the bottom side, they're pretty exposed, but Creator's found a bit of an angle where the Disruptors are, or where the Liberators are not. And he gets 1 Liberator, that's nice, but it's more dead bases. Now Creator, he's gonna be a 4-base Protoss, and you don't want to be in 20 minutes in 4 bases, realistically only about 2 of them mining, but hey, this is something. Orbital starts to burn, but you need more.
Creator is making this game as difficult for ByuN as he possibly can. And there have been a couple of slip-ups from ByuN where it feels like in the last maybe 2 or 3 minutes, even though he is winning this game. He just EMP'd his own ghost to hit that DT, and that's going to lead to a big cleanup. Talk about miscues. That is a big one right there. The army was probably going to get cleaned up anyways, but that's now the second big EMP that Creator has baited out onto ByuN's own units. This is... I still think ByuN's in a really good position, but Creator is doing everything he can to give himself the best opportunity.
I love that. That's just so cheeky there from ByuN. He just shift clicks a hold position on the Liberators, so the Phoenix, one Phoenix actually can't fight 2 Liberators, and it's just like, oh, come on. ByuN, come on. Stop doing the small things, please. But for now, that will eventually get dealt with. Here comes this army. Massive EMP on that. You can't fight that. Not at all. Not with... I mean, it's only +1 right now on the air weapons, but with an EMP, it effectively makes it +2, and it means Stalkers get 2 shots. So you got to run away here, Creator. You got to find another angle. But as bad as Creator's economy is, right? 39 probes, not where you want to be here. His army, you were talking about it, it is pretty dang strong. 117 army supply, so if he can get a fight and turn this into killing off a couple bases, that's going to be nice. But for now, ByuN, he's going to stem forward, right? He's going to get 2 disruptors. He's just slowly and steadily just paper cutting away this army of Creator.
Yes, ByuN has secured his 6th base. He's been mining it for a while. He's on a huge bank. Creator is trying to get that one big fight that can win him this game, but ByuN has been denying it. He's going to move forward, snipes 3, 4 disruptors, and will take game number 3. He'll move up to 2-1, and will get it done. Creator, oh no, you can see he knows he was in such a good position in that game number 3. Oh man, ByuN, he's got to be feeling a big sigh of relief, but Creator, he did not need to go up that ramp and attack into the planetary, and that's got to be replaying through his head right now. Oh, that is so rough. The emotion, I can't imagine what's going through his head right now. He's just, it's tough.
Yeah. I feel like this, I feel like the Simpsons meme, right? Where it's like, you know, look at this. Look at this, Steadfast. We can pinpoint exactly where we saw this man's life hope die. Like, we can see exactly where this man, you know, died inside. It's just, it's that push. It's just, you can't, you can't push into a choke with Liberator sieged up, with a planetary on top, with a Terran Concave behind, and ghosts. It's just,
yeah.
I understand why you want to. I understand it. Like, you feel like you're pushing through. You feel like you're on the top of the world. But, man, his eyes were just too big.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you can't blame him. You can't blame him. Like, he saw an opportunity. If he breaks that, it's like maybe he just wins the game right there, wins the series, and he's popping off instead of sitting there in anguish. And look at this. I forgot about this hold in game 1. This was such a great hold. The 5 stalkers in the middle of the map was a genius move from Creator that gave him a big opportunity to hold that push, put him into a good position. The proxy base eventually got some stuff done. We see that was a big disruptor shot there. Honestly, after game 1, Creator was looking really primed to win this one potentially. And even the cleanup at the end was a really great setup, and he just did such a good job on that, slowing the push down and buying himself time. Man, I just feel for Creator right now. You know, he's such an emotional player, and he really leaves it all out there. And yes, mistakes were made. We can talk about the mistakes, but for now, I want to focus on, like, he really, I appreciate him as a player because he just leaves it all out on the map, I guess, you know, like he leaves everything out there when he plays. He's really gives it his all.
Yeah, not to take anything away from ByuN, but realistically, like, you look at this series and you look at how it was looking in the mid game in all 3 games. This was a 3-0 from Creator that he ended up losing 2-1. I don't, like, again, ByuN played very well to bring himself back into games that he was behind in, but Creator put himself in so many good positions over the course of this series that you're like, wow, Creator's gonna win this game. We talked about it in game 3. I was like, wow, you know, he took this fight. He's got so far ahead. He shuts down the push from ByuN. He's in a great spot. And then, well, you know, ByuN just does ByuN things. ByuN is one of the better players in the world about coming back against Protoss players, about taking it to 20 minutes and just finding that, just because he micros so well. His mechanics when he's on top are just, they're some of the best in the world. His micro, his ability to multitask. And when you're playing this, especially if you're playing this Colossus focused style that we see Protoss players going for, we're not playing like mass gateway disruptor. You don't have the mobility as the game goes super late, especially on Gressfon. It's hard to make sure you do what you want. So especially with that, I can understand why Creator had a tempo opportunity. He thought he was going to be able to break the base, and he just want to go late game against a Terran player on Gressfon. So I can understand it. Still doesn't work out, and that means that now that Creator, he's sitting at 1 and 2. He's going to have to run into someone. And remember, I mean, this is not easy. Clem is also sitting at 1 and 2. Like, There's no easy games. There's no one that you can look at and you say, wow, that's gonna be fine. It's hard. It's a tough road to hoe that creator has in front of him now.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. But for now, we are going to head to a little break. Hopefully, creator can take some time, collect his thoughts. Hopefully, there's some people he can talk to, just chat, and just kind of like reset mentally before he's got a little break before he plays his next series. But we on the Beat Stream here are looking ahead to the next series. It is an elimination series. Loser goes home. It's going to be between Spirit and a Laser, a little Polish classic. But for now, we're going to head to a break. We'll be back.